What is up, guys? RGT85 here, and today on the channel we have two news topics that I want to go over because they are pretty interesting stuff. Now, the first topic we have to talk about is, of course, involving Shenmue. Now, Shenmue 1 and 2 just came out on the PS4 and the Xbox One in a bit of a remastered edition, HD graphics and things like that, and it was a really fun game. I reviewed it on the channel. I'm an absolute Shenmue fanboy. I loved it on the Dreamcast. I always loved the series. But did you know that Sega was allegedly working on a ground-up remake of the original Shenmue 1 and 2. Digital Foundry lifted the veil on this. We got some pictures of it, and honestly, a lot of Shenmue fanboys, myself included, are going to be crying. So I want to look at these pictures and sort of speculate on why this never came to be. And then the second news topic we have to talk about is another new Nintendo Switch bundle that has just been announced that will be launching right alongside the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate bundle that maybe some people will want to pick up. So sit back, relax, make sure you subscribe to the channel, make sure you enter the $100 eShop gift card giveaway that I'm doing in the pinned comment in the comment section down below, and let's check out these two news stories.
Hey, RGT85. Hey, Sean.
Oh my God, it's Stevie Richards! So like I said, Shenmue is a game that I absolutely love. It was really the first open world game where you could do anything, where people had their own, things that they were doing and their own schedules and cycles. Stores were only open at certain times. There was a day and night cycle. Just an absolutely amazing game. So when Shenmue 1 and 2 HD was announced for the PS4, the Xbox One, and Steam, I was very excited for it. Of course, I reviewed it on the channel and I really enjoyed it. Although it was very glitchy for some people, I didn't really run into any major glitches, so I was very thankful for that. But kind of strange how that ended up becoming sort of a thing. It looks like Sega has since then patched it and fixed the game, but kind of weird that that happened in the first place. But obviously, the history of Shenmue is pretty much rooted in a failure for Sega. Although the game did pretty well and, it was critically received well, people loved it, fans loved it, critics loved it, it unfortunately cost so much money to make that it was supposed to be like this huge 13-part series that never ended up coming to be. We only still have Shenmue 1 and 2, which of course has Shenmue 3 looming on the horizon as well. That's supposed to fill in some of the gaps. But it looks like at one point in time back in 2017, Sega was actually looking at rebuilding Shenmue 1 and 2 from the ground up for a full remaster. Not just simple HD textures based on the Dreamcast version of the game, but a full ground up remaster. Now this is coming to us from Digital Foundry, and they released a video on it today. I'll have a link to the video in the description box down below so you guys can check that out. But this definitely was something that was in a bit of its infancy. You can look at some pictures of it here and you can see things like placeholder above certain NPCs' heads and things like that. So I don't think this was very far along. Maybe more of just a proof of concept sort of thing, but it looks absolutely amazing. You could definitely tell that a lot of time and effort potentially went into this as creating this world of Shenmue, because the world of Shenmue is a pretty big world, and especially in Shenmue 2, there's a lot of different varied environments and things like that. So I think this would have been really cool and really unique. You could see that they really redid everything, from the character models to the environments and things like that. It definitely looks more like a modern release, maybe a bit of the Yakuza series, which a lot of people sort of assimilate with the Shenmue series. But why did this never get any more traction than it initially got? Because this would have been something pretty awesome. I really just feel like in 2018, Shenmue is still a bit of a niche game. It's unfortunate that it never really transcended other games like it, but I think when the series sort of fizzled out after Shenmue 2, and then Yakuza came along, and then Yakuza started getting really popular, I don't think that Sega really thought that this was going to be profitable for them. And honestly, I feel like that was probably the right decision. Something like the Shenmue 1 and 2 HD remasters just sort of test the waters for things like this. And at $30, you would have had to have released this HD remaster, this remaster built from the ground up at a much higher price point, and I think it would have been a bit of a harder sale. I'm sure the game itself would have been absolutely fantastic. Judging from what we've seen here, it was going to be phenomenal looking. Like, it looks like a modern game, and I'm sure that they would have redone the controls and things like that, but once again, that would take a lot of time and effort because the tank-like controls of Shenmue are definitely very dated in a modern setting and in a modern world. So people, you would have had to have done a lot of different things to the controls controls. You would have switched up a lot of the gameplay and things like that. It would have been a very time-consuming effort, and I feel like Sega wanted to get this collection out before something like Shenmue 3 dropped, because obviously they're not really a part of Shenmue 3, as that was a Kickstarter project. So I don't know, I think this game would have been awesome. As a Shenmue fan, I would have absolutely loved this. I would have absolutely played it, and it would probably would have been very spectacular for me. But from a casual perspective, I don't really think it would have sold all that well. So it would have been a bit of a money pit for Sega. And you know how Sega is in 2018. They are trying to do things with their old IPs and things like that, but they probably don't want to spend a whole bunch of money if it's not going to reciprocate. So I just thought these pictures were fascinating. Like I said, this was something coming to us from Digital Foundry. Make sure you guys check out their video in the comments or in the description box down below, because it's really cool. They even have some gameplay footage, some very early gameplay footage of the game as well. You know, some of the camera shots and things like that. It would have been very special, but unfortunately we'll probably never see this come out. But fun to talk about at least. And yes, finally, we have to talk about a new Nintendo Switch bundle. Now, of course, these Nintendo Switch bundles are starting to pop up more and more frequently, which is kind of weird because they never did a Super Mario Odyssey bundle, which I really would have liked. But of course, we've gotten different bundles announced. We've had different bundles released this year. You had the Mario Tennis Aces bundle that came bundled with a digital version of Mario Tennis Aces. You have the Fortnite bundle, which has Fortnite branding and some extra V-Bucks and some cool costumes that you can get as well. Of course, there is the Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee bundles that have Pokemon branding on them and, you know, different things like that. You have the Smash Brothers bundle, which a lot of people are really into, has a custom dock and things like that. But now we have another Nintendo Switch bundle, because I guess if you're a system collector, you're going to have to buy all these bundles, which would just be a nightmare. But it's actually for a third-party game, which makes it very interesting. And that game is Diablo 3. Now, Diablo 3 will be releasing on the Nintendo Switch on November 2nd, and it includes all of the DLC. Of course, it also includes a Ganondorf skin, so it looks like it's going to be a pretty robust version of the game. Everything that we've heard about the game is very positive as far as previews and stuff are concerned. But yes, they are doing a full Diablo 3 Nintendo Switch bundle, and I just wanted to look at this bundle, show you guys what it comes with, and it's sort of say that it's kind of weird because this launches on November 2nd, and the Super Smash Brothers bundle also launches on November 2nd. Of course, you cannot access the Super Smash Brothers game until December when the game releases, but yeah, kind of weird to be launching both of these bundles on the same day. But if you look at the Diablo 3 bundle, I think it looks pretty cool. Alright, so this is actually a GameStop exclusive bundle, so if you want to pick up this bundle, you will have to pre-order it from GameStop. They are available for pre-order right now. This is a $359.99 bundle, but you do get a couple little cool things to sort of offset that price point, and there is some cool customization. So looking at the Nintendo Switch system, it is a basic system as far as the Joy-Cons are concerned. They didn't do any special colors or anything like that. Obviously, they're probably trying to get a more mature audience with this version of the game, but the dock does have some Diablo 3 branding on it. You can see a couple different characters on there. The actual back of the Nintendo Switch, the tablet portion of itself, actually has some Diablo branding and images on there as well, which I think is the first time anyone's ever done anything with the back of the system. So that's actually pretty unique. And then you also have a Diablo 3 custom carrying case that looks pretty cool, probably a hard shell design, dual zipper on there as well with more Diablo branding. And then of course you have a digital version of the game, which you can access all of the content that is involved with the game. I think the packaging on it looks really nice. It's definitely sort of a more mature style packaging, something that I think adults will see in the store and be like, oh, what the hell is this? This looks actually pretty cool. So it's very interesting to me just to see Nintendo doing so many different Nintendo Switch bundles. Obviously, it's a big thing this holiday season. You want to get as many bundles out there as you can, but I think a third-party Nintendo Switch bundle really says something about the working relationship between Bethesda and Nintendo. I really feel like going forward, a lot of Bethesda projects are going to end up on Nintendo platforms because obviously Bethesda seems to be pretty happy with this. They've released several games on the Nintendo Switch that all have seemed to have done pretty decently. Maybe Wolfenstein 2, which really didn't sell on anything, was probably the weakest of the three games they released: Skyrim, Doom, and of course Wolfenstein 2. But with things like the Diablo 3 bundle coming out, it really shows a good working relationship with Nintendo. Me personally, I am not a bundle collector. I'm not a system variant collector unless it is something that's actually different, something like the Game Boy and the Game Boy Light or the Nintendo 3DS or the new 3DS. So I won't be picking this up, but let me know in the comments section down below if maybe you've been holding out on picking up a Nintendo Switch and this is sort of pushing you over the edge to want to get a Nintendo Switch, or if you just think it looks cool, because honestly, I think it looks cool, but it's not something for me. Alright, so those are two stories that I wanted to go over with you guys because I thought they were pretty interesting. Let me know in the comments section down below how you feel about these. Would you have liked to seen the Shenmue 1 and 2 HD remaster actually be built from the ground up like we've seen in these pictures and actually be, you know, almost like a new experience? Or do you think it would have been too time consuming and not very profitable for Sega, as really the Shenmue 1 and 2 HD collection hasn't sold all that great from what we have heard? And then of course let me know what you think about all these Nintendo Switch bundles coming out. Do you think there's too many with things like Pokemon and Smash Brothers and now Diablo 3? Like, is it going to be too confusing for consumers, or do you think it's good to have options like this? And as always, thank you for checking out this video. Like I said at the start, make sure you enter that $100 eShop gift card giveaway. It's running for a couple more weeks depending on when you're watching this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. And as always, thank you guys for checking out this video, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Later.